Greetings, I'm Mark with Unlimited Story, unlimited-story.com, a channel dedicated to writing, world building, marketing, and most importantly, getting things done. If that's interesting to you, consider subscribing. In this video, I am going to be covering basically the supply and demand on Kindle Vella as we see it right now in beta. So that is how much is being produced for the genres and how much is being consumed. So if that's what you'd like to know, just sit around and I'll be covering that right now. So to get started, I have the spreadsheet here, and I'm going to break down how I got all the information that I have. So right out of the gate, each page, which I'll pull up right now, so this is the romance page. Each page has 22 stories on it, and then I just, okay, this got 40 pages, so there's a chance that, maybe less, but I just kind of rounded and said that was cool. So 40 times 22 gives me these numbers right here. So this is how many stories of each that use these top tags there are. So of course romance has by far the most amount of these tags, and basically it kind of descends based on the popularity, which is a little bit of a fluke here according to Amazon. And then to determine the amount of actual, how much engagement there is, so how much people are actually engaging or reading it, I pick the top three, how many likes the top three had. So to me, this information right here is how much content is being produced, right? And then this right here, this calculation determines how much is actually being consumed, okay? And so this information right here is just right here at the top. I took the amount of likes at the current time and just added them up. Okay, so amount of likes, amount of material. So down here are my quick stats. So this is the popularity, so you can see how much, basically how popular any given tag is, and then how popular certain genres are, or at least how they are engaged. So one thing I want to throw out is that these three right here, so romance, paranormal, and paranormal romance, are so incredibly high, specifically because of this story right here by Rebecca Zanetti. Great gal. I interviewed her, so if you'd like to hear about her and just her thoughts on Kindle Vella, I did a full interview. I'll put put a link to it in the description below. But anyway, she is a big time author, so she has a huge, not only huge fan base, but very loyal fan base. So it's no surprise that a ton of readers came over and read her material. So that's why it's just so much significantly higher. So to kind of mitigate those outlying numbers, like I just try to make it like normal-ish and kind of accommodate for, if she was a newer author or something, I took 4,500 off of her score. So, or at least those ones, and that gave me these adjusted numbers here. So it's just kind of mitigating, that massive success that that one story has. So either way, it's still very, very clear that romance, paranormal, and paranormal romance are still doing very, very well as far as tags. So now really the whole purpose of this information tracking is to determine what is really popular, what is popular per, I guess, what's being produced, right? So I'm going to unhide these bad boys. Boom. So here's all the numbers, which I have a full list in just a second that I'll get to, but it's still very clear, just looking at these numbers, which ones are super, super popular. So I'm going to break it down right now. Here they are ranked in order. Romance, paranormal, paranormal, romance, paranormal, and romance are by far, still in the top, and then it just goes down from here. So it's kind of mind-blowing because you'd think like, hey, these three right here are really popular because that's what we still see. That is what's kind of, I guess, mainstream. But as far as in this platform at this current state, that is not the case. And by how, I don't want to say unpopular they are, it's really more of supply and demand. So here we go. Fantasy is one of them. Where is... There's magic. What was the other? Fantasy and sci-fi. Look how much significantly lower they are. So the reason I'm bringing this up, and this is just, again, a quick video I wanted to knock out. This is more of a supply and demand. Like the numbers behind this, you know, these aren't, they don't mean a ton, right? You know, just because the liked number here doesn't mean how many people are reading it, but it at least gives us a bit of information, right? I mean, this right here is the supply, right? This is the supply that authors are providing. This is the demand. This is what the readers are providing. How much is being read? How much is being, you know, like in many ways spent. So, if you're trying to play the meta game with this, this has the best ratio for you. If you want to create material, right? You want to do it in you want tags that hit this area, because this has the most readers, right? The most demand, and then down here would have the most supply, and not necessarily the least demand, but there's more supply from authors from this side and more demand from readers on this side. So if you start up here, you have a higher chance of overall success. So. And that's it for this video. If you'd be so kind, consider checking out one of my unlimited story books on either Kindle or Kindle Vella. Otherwise, consider subscribing or at least checking out one of my videos that YouTube recommends.